Hello everyone, this is Dwight Mitchell, the founder of Family Preservation Foundation, better known to most of you as Stop CPS from Legally Kidnapping Children. Our group has grown so rapidly over the last 120 days that I feel it's time for me to take a moment of everyone's time, stop the posting, and to let everyone know exactly what the organization is about and what our charter mission is. When we first started, we had about 200 people about 120 days ago. At that time, our organization was small. Everyone knew what our group was about. And since that time, we've been on the media, quite often and in the news, and everybody is eager to join our organization. But the base of our organization is one primary simple goal. It was a federal complaint to stop Child Protection Services from unconstitutionally seizing our children when there was no harm to the children. One of the things I thought I could do is put together this group so that we could share information amongst ourselves. We are not lawyers. We are parents who are fighting for a cause. So for the next 3 days, I'm not going to allow any posting. I'm going to put the complaint up that was filed for the federal courts for this group, and everyone should read this complaint. I'm going to read the preliminary statements of the complaint so that everyone knows exactly what the complaint is for and why everyone should show up to the federal court building on October 9th to voice your protest. If you do not show up and you live in Minnesota, for whatever the reason, unless you're incapacitated, then that means you really don't want your child, because this is your one true chance to fight for your child, to get your child back, to fight for other people's children, and to stop this unconstitutional seizure of our children. This legal kidnapping must stop now, and it all starts with this first court appearance on October 9th. So to take you back to what this group really stands for, I'm going to read the first few pages of the complaint. The complaint is going to be right after this video. I only did 15 out of 145 pages because that's what's really important for you to know and why you should show up. So the title, when you go and look at the complaint, it's going to say Dwight David Mitchell individually, which is me, on behalf of his children, and Stop Child Protection Services from Legally Kidnapping Children. That's in the heading, plaintiffs. So I filed that on behalf of this organization, and I'm paying for this legal suit on behalf of this organization. No one has chipped in, no one has given me any money, and I didn't request any. So if anyone doubts my sincerity, you just need to read the complaint and understand what the group is about and why I formed the group to help the 15 million people that reside in Minnesota. I didn't have to do this. I did this because I felt what CPS is doing is wrong, and what they did to me shouldn't happen to any other parent. So the preliminary statement of the complaint says this. Very first line, people. Stop Child Protection Services from Legally Kidnapping is an association of parents who have been affected or may be affected by Minnesota's child protection statutes. Minnesota Department of Human Services rules and policies on Minnesota County's child protection services is committed to preventing state and county agencies from unconstitutionally interfering in the parent-child relationship, even on a temporary basis when there is at least a single fit parent. The reason is when the government takes custody of a child away from a single fit parent, The government is horrible and terribly expensive in raising children, much worse than that single fit parent. This complaint, counts 1 through 6, contains claims that facially challenge statewide application of Minnesota child protection laws as unconstitutionally vague, unconstitutionally overbroad, and fail strict scrutiny. The remaining counts are as applied constitutional claims and state law claims, particular to the defendant's actions against the Mitchell family. Plaintiff Dwight Mitchell and his children have the same claims as Stop CPS from legally kidnapping children. Mitchell brought his complaint after his children were illegally removed from the home without court order and without exigent circumstances, and was forced to wait for 10 days for a post-deprivation hearing for his 3 children. Mitchell complied with all county requests, and only 2 of his 3 children were returned, and not after 5 months. The authorities maliciously denied Mitchell all contact with his middle son for 22 months. Mitchell was allowed no phone calls, no visits, no letters, absolutely no contact for 22 months. It was 22 months of lost smiles, lost hugs, and lost time spent together as a family. Almost 2 years of not seeing or hearing from his child. Mitchell was not even being told where XM was. Every night, Mitchell did not know where XM was. Mitchell had the same feeling that a normal parent would have, and a normal parent's worst nightmare: kidnapping. It was hell on earth and totally disproportionate to the needs presented. It was inspired by malice, sadism, rather than a merely careless, unwise, or unexcess zeal. It amounted to a brutal and inhumane abuse of official power, shocking to the conscience and offending judicial notions of fairness, especially in light of the fact that Mitchell's 6-year-old son was returned in 5 months, and 3 Dakota County social service psychologists said that Mitchell was a fit parent. There was no danger present in the home. Mitchell had a constitutional right for his legal proceedings to be free from fabricated evidence and judicial deception. Because the legal proceedings were tainted by fabricated evidence and judicial deceptions, Mitchell's children were illegally detained. This case is also about overzealous, inadequately trained, and inadequately supervised employees of an out-of-control government agency, and the acts of those employees were directed, authorized, or ratified by the agency's policy-making officials. The defendants knew almost immediately they lacked subject matter jurisdiction over Mitchell and his children, pursuant to the Uniform Child Custody Jurisdiction and Enforcement Act, and that the allegations about Mitchell were fabricated by his ex-wife in an attempt to regain custody of the boys. So that's the preliminary opening statement. So the very first line is about the association. It's not about me or any individual person. What most people don't understand is that you can't bring a legal lawsuit against the government unless you've been damaged or hurt. So that no one could bring about the constitutionality claims that I brought about unless you actually had your child taken unconstitutionally by CPS. So in talking to our legal team, they advised us on the correct approach to make something happen, to make something good happen out of the pain and anguish that I suffered for 2 years for the state of Minnesota, and hopefully for the rest of America. So we don't need to be fighting amongst ourselves. We don't need to be complaining about the group. You don't need to be complaining about no one's helping me. There is nothing that is going on with anyone in this group that hasn't gone on with anyone else in this group. So please keep that in mind when you're talking about someone else. No two people think alike. But there is one common goal, and that is to stop CPS from doing what they're doing. And so when I tell everyone that they need to come out and protest to the federal judge who is hearing this case that I put together for the citizens of Minnesota, you need to come out and march around the federal building like you're marching around the walls of Jericho. We're inviting the media. We're getting t-shirts. If you want to get a t-shirt, it's $15. You don't have to get a t-shirt. We're making signs and banners. You can make your own signs and banners. The most important thing is that you show up. T-shirt, no t-shirt. You need to take off a half day of work and you need to come because this is your one true shot to make a difference. If you want your children back, if you want the harassment to stop, then you need to get down to this federal courthouse. There's 4,000 people in this group. There should be a minimum of 1,000 people at that building. If we could get everyone in a group, that'd be fantastic. That would be such a statement that no one could ignore it. If I could get everyone to come down. But I know, people are saying, well, I don't have transportation, or I live, 2 hours away, or I live 3 hours away. Well, what if your child was at that court building? If your child was right there on October 9th, would you get down there then? Well, this may be your only chance of getting your child. And if you had a TPR, if the judge finds that these statutes are unconstitutional, then that is your chance to reapply to the court to get your children back. So this is your one shot, whether you have your children or you don't have your children, to get your children back. So I need everyone to be down there. You need to be supporting this complaint. And if you don't really want to see change, then you really need to leave our group, because our group was formed literally because of this federal complaint. I said I wanted to find like-minded people to support the group. Now, I tried to do something that I thought we all wanted, and I was trying to raise money to get lawyers. I don't know, for some unknown reason, people think that lawyers are cheap, are supposed to work for free, but I'm here to tell you they aren't. Even getting new lawyers is $70,000. We've put all this together. We have a budget, and I'm like, to get one lawyer full-time on staff, it's going to cost $70,000, and that will not be a seasoned lawyer. It'll be a lawyer that will have to work under, my law firm, of Eric Cardell and Mormonson, and they're going to have to try and mentor these employees to do what we need them to do. They're going to write the guides, they're going to do the cases, but for every single lawyer that we get, it's $70,000. So if you don't want lawyers, that's fine. I'll just, continue to put out the self-help and the guides, and we're applying to foundations. So we're trying to get grants, and we're trying to get money from the foundations of Minnesota. So when I tell people you need to take our flyer and our banner and give it to whoever you can think of to try and get them to donate some money for us to get lawyers, that's what you need to do if you want lawyers to represent you in court. So that's part of our business plan. So the complaint is going to be under this video. I need everyone to read the complaint, and I'm going to be checking the likes. And so I'm going to be looking for the people that looked at this video and liked it, and I'm going to be checking their name against the membership roster. I'm going to be looking at the people that read the complaint. It's 15 pages, and you should know exactly what we're fighting for in order to get your children back. And I'm going to be checking the likes on that and against our membership roster. And then I'm going to put our little flyer that we've been giving out and we've been sending to all the foundations and corporations trying to raise money in Minnesota to help fight this injustice. And it's a slow process because all of the foundations have these applications and this waiting period, and we have to submit all this documents. So it's going to take time to get lawyers, but unless somebody is going to sponsor a lawyer, that's fantastic too. If someone says, okay, I have $70,000 and I can sponsor one lawyer for the group, super. We have an office, we're downtown, we're trying to make this happen for the people of the group, but it takes time. And yes, I know everybody doesn't have money. That's why I haven't asked anybody for any money for this lawsuit. I'm paying for the lawsuit and I'm suing for the association. But if you want lawyers to help everyone out, well then the organization needs to get lawyers. So everyone keeps saying we need lawyers, but no one wants to donate for a lawyer. I'm like, I put it together and I'm like, well, Minnesota has 83 counties. And I'm like, I can't have a lawyer for every county. That's 83. So if I split that in half and I say, well, we still need 40 lawyers. Well, guess what? We can't afford 40 lawyers. So I split that in half again, and that's down to 20 lawyers to try and cover the whole state. So 20 lawyers to try and cover the whole state at $70,000 a lawyer, it comes up to a significant amount of money. And so I was trying to get people to understand where that first number came from. But everyone was complaining, oh, we're poor. I'm like, I understand that. So I lowered it. I said, okay, so we have one lawyer, who's $70,000, or maybe two lawyers. That's $140,000. Plus we need a senior lawyer to oversee them, so who knows what they're doing. And that's about $100,000. And that's full time, working on nothing but our cases. So, to understand the magnitude of where the money is going, you need to understand the cost of a lawyer. No one's going to do it for you for free. You got to help yourself. No one's helped you now. What makes you think someone's gonna all of a sudden, come out of nowhere and say, here's a lawyer. I'm going to work full time for this group of 4,000 parents for free. It's not going to happen, And I'm not trying to be, difficult. I'm just trying to be realistic and explain to everyone what we're trying to achieve. The arguing or the criticizing, or, with people's approach. To me, doing something is better than doing nothing. One of the things I told everyone to do when they joined was to read the 35 key tips for fighting child protection services. It was posted and pinned at the very top of our associational page. So when you signed on for the first time, the very first thing you saw was 35 key tips. And it looked like that, our logo in the back here. So you need to read that 35 key tips. I put templates in the file section. I'm going to start doing videos because, for some reason people just aren't reading the material. I don't know, maybe they don't understand the material, but I'm going to try and start putting out some videos for everyone. But for the next few days, it's going to be no posting. This video is going to be out. The complaint's going to be out. Our flyer's going to be out to raise money so we can get lawyers to help you people. And then, I'm going to be checking how many people click the like button and actually watch this video and actually read the complaint. And then I'm going to watch how many people actually come to the rally. And then I'm going to look at the people that are in Minnesota who came to the rally, and then everyone else who can't get there, I'm going to remove you from the group because I'm going to feel that this is not important enough for you. This is not a join kumbaya group. This is a proactive group who's going to be chanting to the government, to the federal government, stop this. This needs to change. We're not sit back, do nothing. It's not a sit back, do nothing group. So I'm sitting here to tell you, if we don't have 1,000 people out there on the 9th, we're only talking about for like an hour or two. We're not even talking about for a long time. Some of you that want to come in and listen to the arguments of why the state thinks it's okay to lie and unconstitutionally seize children, you can come inside. We've already requested the media to record it. So if you aren't inside, we're going to get it out on the website so that you can see that also. But I need you to come together. If for nothing else, you need to come together for this meeting on the 9th, and you need to go stand up and let the government hear your voice and understand what's going on. I mean, let's be realistic. When the illegal immigrants were taken in Texas. 7,000 Minnesotans marched in July. 7,000 people came out for illegal immigrants who were separated. And guess what? The number of illegal immigrants that are separated are less than the total number of people removed annually from Minnesota. So they're talking about 10,000 children. They removed 15,004 children last year. And they've been doing that consistently, somewhere between 12, 13, 14,000 children every single year for the last 15 years. And it's on their website. You just got to go to the DHS website, look at the out-of-home placement findings that they publish every single year, and you will see firsthand what's out there. So if 7,000 people can march for illegal immigrants, we should be able to get that many people to march for your children in your own state that are being removed. When you march for 7,000 people gathered in March for immigrants in Texas. So there's no excuse. Everyone needs to be out. Thank you very much. And for the next few days, the only thing you're going to see is this video being posted along with the complaint, which we should all read, our brochure for, what we need to raise to get lawyers and a staff to grow the office so that I can help you people. That's all we're asking. You're either going to work with us or not. You can find another organization. We're not holding you to our association, but if you're going to be in our association, it has to be more than talk. The lip service is not going to get your children back, and it's not going to get this change. The only way it's going to get this change is the way I'm doing it right now. Nothing else has worked. So I filed a lawsuit on behalf of this association when it was only 250 people. Now it's 4,000 and growing. So I need the 4,000 to come on board, read the complaint that the original 250 read, come up to speed at what we're trying to do, and then come out and protest. Thank you very much, and have a good day or evening whenever you're looking at this. Bye now.